if you don't have a target, like how do you know what to punch at? You know, and I think a lot of us go through life that way.
10 Commandments of Wealth is live to the world this Sunday. Don't miss our special launch day event, the Easter Sunday Sermon. No day is too sacred to keep you from earning even more prosperity in your life. It's time for you to wake up, denounce your mediocrity, and let your financial future rise from the dead. Click that link below, get yourself registered, and show up on this Easter Sunday for this live event. I'll see you there.
Today I get to chat with Michelle Waterson, aka the Karate Hottie. So Invicta champion multiple times, a couple times I believe, won the championship, defended your belt there. Fought a lot of the biggest champions in MMA and UFC. How long have you been in UFC?
Oh gosh, probably 7-8 years now.
7-8 years in the UFC. Great mother, great wife, aspiring entrepreneur, going to be a serious entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
And a Hollywood actress right around the corner.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for spending time with us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. You know, I've sat down with a lot of people recently, that a lot of people in your area, and a couple football champions and volleyball champions and skating champions, Olympic medal winners, etc. And we've been talking a lot about you know, what it takes to win. So a lot of, just fill in a little background, a lot of my audience or my clients, the other people they have above average education, they have a far above average work ethic. And you know, there's a little confusion if you look at the internet or hear what like your family or normal people out there say, oh, just do blah blah blah, and like, you know, and the internet's totally full of shit. It's just like, you know, like as if magical things just easily happen and you could engage in mediocre behaviors and have extraordinary outcomes, you know. So you know, I'd love for you to share some of your stories about that, of like, what did it really take for you? That you've been practicing martial arts since you were very young, yeah?
Around 10, yeah. 10, yeah.
So you just started at 10 years old, that's all?
That's it. More than, it's been an amazing journey, honestly. I mean, I'm 35 now, and yeah, so I've been doing martial arts longer than most, I guess.
Yeah, so 25 years of practice in martial arts, and you know, probably a lot of other life experiences. Actually, I read a thing, and I'm going to butcher it badly, so you have to save me. But I gave that disclaimer. I read something months ago about you that, and I might have some of the facts wrong. So help me.
We'll get it straight.
Help me. But the way that I remember it is that you were a ring girl at one time. Yeah. You were holding cards around the ring, and somehow you had an introduction with Cowboy, with Donald Cerrone, that he helped you, you know, orient you in the right way to some extent.
Yep.
And again, I might be butchering this story, but how does that story go? How does that go from, you know, you're the young pretty girl holding the card to you're the girl in the ring kicking people's ass?
You didn't butcher it at all. I was going to college and paying for my own schooling, so I was a Hooter girl. And you kind of just pick up like odd jobs here and there as a Hooter girl. I was like doing photo shoots for calendars and things like that, and there was a local fight promotion, and I really honestly had no idea what MMA was at the time. It was still very new, and the promoter came in and asked some of the girls if they wanted to be card girls. It was just extra cash, so I said yeah, sure. And just as I'm doing it and watching, something just sparked my interest. And because I have a martial art background back then, I was like, man, I could do this. That looks like so much fun. Like, I have a martial arts background and I could totally kick somebody's butt, you know? And I remember talking to the promoter, and he kind of like laughed it off. Like, okay, yeah, sure. And Donald had overheard me, and he came into my job the next day, and I wasn't working, so he left me a note, and it was just like, if you're serious about fighting, get your ass in the gym. And left his number, and I gave him a call, and I started training with him, and took all these smokers. And I want to say within a year, I turned pro, and it became my life. I loved it.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing, like transition points that you're on one path or you're trying to do something, but it's not quite clicking, and then occasionally a door opens up. And
yeah.
A lot of people don't take those opportunities.
Yeah,
a lot of people that fumble there.
For sure. Like, you have to be aware of the good omens or the signs or whatever it is you'd like to call it that arise, because for sure they're there for you, but you just have to be ready for the opportunity when it comes.
My life is a very different path. I thought about business, and real estate, investments, entrepreneurship, and you can't do shit with real estate investments or investments until you did some entrepreneurship and made some capital from a business. Hard to invest money you don't have yet. So, but there's been several key opportunities, those type of moments in my life that I think a lot of people, they can't identify it in real time. They don't understand like, oh, that could be a life-changing opportunity. And I was never an opportunity passer-upper. I was always pretty good at seeing like, oh, that shit could go somewhere, and let me at least go check it out. I've been very open-minded. I haven't had a job since I was 19. I quit my last job then. I was a Walmart manager. It was great.
Did you like being a manager?
I did. I told this story a few times publicly, but when I finished 3 years of high school, and I had either A's or D's. So if I liked a class, if I applied myself, I got an A. If I didn't like a class, I didn't do anything, and I should have got an F. But a lot of times the teachers had some mercy, or they were nicer than I deserved and give me a D to shove me along, even though I didn't deserve it. And I grew up around a lot of rough people. My dad was in prison. My mother was not the best mother. So I'm not blaming anybody else except myself, but just in a lot of violent conflict or a lot of little trouble as a kid. And my senior year in high school, when I should have been in high school, I spent 90 days in county jail instead. Yeah, I learned a lot from that I thought, well, this is not much fun. And I saw a lot of my friends going down that path, that they were spending long periods of time in their life, and my family, I saw this type of thing happen. And that kind of woke me up, and I thought, well, maybe I should get one of those job things. So I tried it for a little while. And I got a job. I had to lie on my Walmart application twice, which, it's not something I'm necessarily proud to say, but I do laugh about it looking back. Like when I filled out a job application at age 18 to unload trucks in stock shelves at Walmart, I said that I had a high school degree, which I didn't. And I said that I had no criminal record, which I had one. I have no felonies, but I had a misdemeanor conviction at that time. And so that was a unique way to get a job, to try that job thing, And I got promotions very quickly. I thought to myself, well, I'm like unloading trucks with people that are in their 40s and 50s, and I was 18. And I thought, well, this is not the plan that these people had earlier in life. So I never talk bad about Walmart. Some people do. I thought, if you work there, if you're willing to put in the effort, they gave me advancements that they went out of their way to break corporate rules, to give me raises they weren't supposed to give me, to give me promotions they weren't supposed to give me. And really where things went downhill for us is that same district manager told me that, you're 19 years old, you're in a position that most people are in their 40s before they're in that position, and I can't give you another promotion for 3, 4, 5 years. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that time. If he said, I can't give you another promotion until you meet these 3, 4, 5 metrics, I'd be, oh, cool. Like, how do I point me in the right direction? I'll go do it, But when he made it a time constraint instead of an abilities constraint, I was like, all right, I guess I'm done here.
Yeah, you were maxed out at that place.
Yeah.
I love how you talk about, I just love that your mindset at such a young age. And I think about like in fighting, like we talk about it all the time. If you don't have a target, like how do you know what to punch at? And I think a lot of us go through life that way. And in school, the teachers direct you, but when you get out of school, it's kind of like you're left on your own. So it's kind of like you have to kind of parent yourself. You have to make those decisions for yourself. And if you don't, you kind of just like wander aimlessly and end up, like you said, 40, 50 years old, doing something, working for somebody else, doing something that makes you miserable,
There's nothing wrong with having, I agree with every word you said, so I'm not just elaborating on that thought. There's, if it was your goal to have a career and you wanted to work at a law firm, or you wanted to be a consultant or a banker, or whatever it is you want to do, that's great. If that's really, it's not the right life for me, but if somebody really wants that, good for them. Different people have different goals. I'm grateful our economy is diverse enough that somebody can make my coffee when I go to the Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. That's nice. Grateful. I went to the Apex Center yesterday for a fight. Grateful that the waitress lady there, she's very nice to me. I take care of her well. Happy somebody's there to provide that service for me, and happy to pay them well to do it.
Absolutely.
So different people have different goals, but I'd love to go further on that thought of like, how the hell does a person hit a target that if you didn't set a goal, if you don't have a target in mind, how would you even know if you're advancing? How would you know if how could you gauge yourself in terms of your performance or your level of achievement without setting a goal to begin with?
Putting something in front of you kind of just, to me, it reminds me of like a hamster on a wheel, just kind of like spinning for no reason. You know what I mean? You got to put something in front of you. I think that's why I'm drawn to fighting, is because you got to sign the dotted line, and boom, like once you step into the octagon and they close the cage behind you, you can't run out. you gotta
Not a good
go.
look.
You're like, all right, well, I'm here. I might as well fight.
Not a good look if you climb over the cage.
I have seen that happen before, but that's a different story.
Derek Moneyberg presents the 10 Commandments of Wealth.
In my adult life, I haven't been afraid of asking for help, all through people who are kicking ass and doing it. Not through books necessarily, not through these things, but through the people who are actually living it.
20 interviews from the clients, 10 training modules, the 10 commandments of wealth, the 10 things that you must know to create some wealth. Champion interviews, champion after champion after champion.
The best fighters in the world. Even as an amateur, as a teenager, I was already sparring with, championship level fighters. And
I think we'll get along really well because we have the same mentality. I'm very hard to trust someone.
Your life's already paid for. Why do you go out of your way to make a relationship with me and go through these mentoring courses?
When I first heard about your course and it became available, for me it was a God-given opportunity. I actually felt very, very blessed.
You can't help people who don't want to be helped. So we only want to be around the ones that want to be helped. Most people didn't inherit the wealth, and those who are at a higher level and see someone like grinding and wanting to get up in life, we'll help you up as long as you want to be helped.
Can you be a good investor if you can't read the quarterly statements, annual statements?
It's impossible. How do you know what you're investing in? How do you know what stock you're buying? How do you know what it's worth if you can't read those financial reports?
I made more this last year than I've ever made in a given calendar year.
The Moneyberg programs helped to increase my entrepreneurial income by 349% from 2020 to 2021. Furthermore, the real estate riches increased my rental income by 33%.